be like me? Don't you wish that you was a G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the things that I see? Don't you wanna be like me? Don't you wanna be like me? Don't you wish that you was a G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the things that I see? Don't you wanna be like me? Don't you wanna be like the kid? Don't you wanna do all the shit that I did? I bet. Don't you wanna see what I seen and been where I been and flee where I flee? You think you can? Well, I'm the man. I've got the master plan. It's in my hand, and I will crush a fool. I bust a tool, and you know I got the rules. I make them, which means I can break them. If you want something, then you've got to take them. Or is that just me? I be Justy. You won't be, cause you know that I will. Don't you wanna be like me? Don't you wanna be like the G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the shit that I see? Don't you wanna be like me? Don't you wanna be like me? Don't you wanna be like a G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the shit that I see? Don't you wanna be like me?
Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like Dundee? Don't you want to fly overseas? Do you want to fly next to me? I ain't your average guy. I'm an average high. I know average lie. Do you want to average fry? Do you want to be first class by your guy? Do you want to be like me? Do you want to do things that I like to see? Do you want to fuck with G's? Do you want to fuck with these kids?
Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like a G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the things that I see? Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like a G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the things that I see? Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like a G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the things that I see? Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like a G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the things that I see? Don't you want to be like me?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like the G? Don't you wish that you could see all of the things that I see? Don't you want to be like me? Welcome to this episode Twomp Tizzle 22 twos of the Head of Lettuce podcast. I am, of course, and without a doubt, your host, and awesomest nigga you'll ever meet in your life, Romaine Lettuce. I said meet in your life, Romaine Lettuce. That is me. I'm the guy. Feeling better than I was last week. I ain't threw up before the show. I was smart, even though I did smoke a lot. Dunny pulled up, sliced me up real quick, and we smoked a couple of them. And before Dunny got here, I had already smoked a couple of them. So, you know, it is what it is when it comes to that. But how's it been for y'all this week, man? It's been as always, it's been a week. Of course, not too much is going on. I know the world ain't paying attention because the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs are playing at Madison Square Garden as we speak. But I'll be done before first quarter, I do believe. But yeah, so it's a lot going on. I'm sure 90% of the world is, at least the United States of America. I give it less than that. a lot of motherfuckers is paying attention to the game though, so it makes me never mind if and you're not paying attention. You know, the average 2 to 3 people that pay attention live. If you ain't paying attention this time, that's cool. It's the finals, so it makes sense to me. Otherwise, I'd be watching myself. So, but we're gonna continue this week or this month of parental unit conversation, and that song at the beginning was very fitting. Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like your dad? And I would assume, well, it ain't that I don't assume that people, because I mean, I've spent my life, not in a bad way, just in a motivational way, trying not to be like my father, because not that I was taught that my father was a bad man, he just hurt people, mainly my mother. So that's why I vowed to not be my father when it came to relationships. I wanted to do everything that he didn't do. So that's my mindset of being like my father. But for the most part, when you grow up in the house with your father, unless he's a complete drunken asshole who's an abuser and shit, then most people want to be like their father growing up, or most guys want to be like their dad when they get older. And I'm not sure how it is because I didn't grow up anything but black. But in the black community, it's you know, I want you to do better than me. I don't know if that's the case everywhere. I've actually witnessed some parents try to hinder their kids because they don't want their kids to do better than them. It's like, no. Everything I've ever done for my children or in my life for real, since I've been a father, is in benefit of them and to show them or provide them things that we didn't have growing up, or we wish we had growing up, or we've only heard of. And I do things for my kids because I don't want them to be like me, first of all. But I don't know if that's because I didn't want to be like my father. Like, do better than me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can be like me, but be like me better. You know what I mean? Take the best parts of what I have. Like, do as I say, not as I do. Which is another, I don't know if that's really a black thing, but it's definitely something I heard a lot growing up. But I often think that providing my children, and I wonder if a lot of people who come from the same type of situations that my wife and I come from, which is growing up impoverished, but providing a life that we only dreamed of. Now, my wife, before now, she's touched the suburb life. She's lived it as a youth. Now, don't get me wrong, she had to revert back to hood living due to circumstance beyond her control as a child, of course. But me, myself, and I, from birth, when I was born in Cleveland, I was living on St. Clair, East 97th and St. Clair to be exact. My mother went to school with is friends with mothers of Bone Thugs and Harmony. So yeah. So yeah, I was born on St. Clair, which is in the hood, without a doubt. And then once we left Cleveland, we went straight to the hood, to the projects, Hawaiian Village, where I grew up at. And so I grew up in apartments. I was taught how to cut the grass when we used to go and visit my granddaddy and my grandmama in Cleveland. And my grandpa would make sure, because he knew that we didn't have this skill, because we grew up with maintenance men and, you know what I'm saying, and grounds crews and shit that, you know what I'm saying, weren't there because we was rich. It was because this is what the complex has provided for us. But certain values and certain things and certain traditions and certain street smarts, having that sense of loyalty that the hood provides. It's just certain things that I wish that my kids had or knew of that aren't available due to the awesome life that my wife and I have provided for our children. It's a double-edged sword at times. At certain times where they come to me for answers and stuff that I'm like, nigga, you should know how to handle that by now. But also, you didn't grow up in an environment in which this was things that are required just as for everyday survival. You know what I mean? Like, I still get mad at the stuff that my kids, like, I try to shake the mindset of I'm still in the hood. My wife has been trying to get me out of this for years. And I mean literal years. Like, she is a shopaholic. Like, she likes to shop. She enjoys high-end things. She likes to spend money in a fast, like, you know, she's not frivolous like me. She isn't thinking about we might never get this again. She is more in the mindset of we're going to get this a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Spend it while we got it, because, you know what I mean, money comes and goes. Which, I mean, over the years, I've accepted the mindset was money isn't real. So the fact that money isn't real makes money less of a, like, money doesn't motivate me anymore. Like, I've seen what money does to people. I've watched people say things, do things, and be like, man, I got to get to the bag. I got to get to the bag. I never want my kids to be, I got to get to the bag minded. Get to the happiness. Get to the peace of mind. Because money comes and goes. I've lost, spent, gained countless amounts of money. Millions of dollars. I'm not going to say that. Yeah. I'm at least at 1.5. As far as money's obtained, money spent, money's lost in my life. Yeah, I'm at least 1.5, 2. Money stolen. I mean, listen, I've touched a lot of money in my life. I've spent a lot of money in my life. I've been around a lot of money in my life. And what I've learned is rich people ain't happy. Poor people ain't happy. Middle class people ain't happy. Why? Because money. Money doesn't bring happiness. Money brings problems. So I try to make sure that my children don't have that bag only mindset. But I don't want it to be so much so that you are a bum to where you like, no, dude, money's not real, man. And who needs a job, dude? Because, my dad said money's not real, dude. And we're going to spend a whole lot more money than we're ever going to, and I can, well, it's all about happiness and peace, man. And this box makes me happy. I would be fucking pissed. I don't want you to be a bum. I want you to be a bum. I want you to be a productive member of society. I want you to be, an American citizen. You know what I mean? Do your civil duties and, things that you should be doing as a citizen of this great land we live on, man, or any land that you decide to live on. If you decide to leave this country, you know what I'm saying? Be an asset. Don't be a liability, you know what I mean? And that goes in anything. So I wouldn't want my children to be a liability. As far as, I don't want you to be no fucking bum. But I do want you to prioritize your happiness and your peace of mind. Don't be like me, who went a good 10, 12 years without vacation, working, holidays. You know how many Christmases I've missed? How many Christmas mornings I've missed? Because I had to go to work on Christmas. Thanksgivings, birthday parties, anniversaries. I've dedicated many years of my life to employers who could give a fuck less. And these are the things that I teach my children. So, I wouldn't want them to try to be like those who are overly motivated by the pursuit of the root of evil. And that's why they call it the root of evil, not because it's in the Bible, because it's not in the Bible. It is the root of evil because the things that people do for money. Yeah, I don't ever want to raise green-eyed people. Crazy enough, because romaine lettuce, the green is for the lettuce and it was for the money, the weed, and it was money weed. Was it money? I don't know. It was when I first was trying to justify me calling myself romaine lettuce. But as much as I tried to make it seem like money was motivation for me, it was at one point in time. I can't lie and say it wasn't, because like I said earlier, my children, I ain't gonna say never, but they have never consciously been in a impoverished situation. They have never been in a situation to where they are very much, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're aware that they broke. Like we was in the projects and stuff so long and so much that I knew, like, we grew up there. Like I figured it out. Like, hold on, we ain't got it. So my kids, when we were in the hood, because we didn't like my oldest and my son. So my oldest and my second child, my two oldest children, had some years in the hood before we made it out. Corey got a good 6. Ray Ray got a good 4. Spring was born in the semi-hood, the transitional hood. You know what I mean? Coleraine, which is the transitional hood. You know what I mean? It's the mixed hood. You on the outskirts of the city, but still in the city. Got the heroin and the meth and the pill addicts out there, and you got the niggas who sell it to all of them. So you got the white addicts, and see, this is the difference in the Coleraine and the inner city hood. And the inner city hood is majority niggas that you serving, because the majority niggas live there. So, I mean, you got your white dope fiends, but they not really there because they not really in your hood. So you serve them, I mean, in proximity. And then you got the transitional hood, which is Coleraine, the suburban hood, basically. Outskirts of the city, white addicts, black drug dealers, which are sprinkled in your white boys who thugging. So yeah, that's what Spring was born into, and then from there on, we made it to the middle class black neighborhoods on the outskirts of the city where I'm at right now. So, which is all my kids basically know. My kids don't talk like me and my wife. They don't sound like we do. They don't sound like. Well, that's a blessing. Even my nigga Slee, which, you know what I mean, I often wondered why, like, how can you sound the way you sound as my child, and you hear me talk every motherfucking day, but you don't sound nothing like me. I can remember the first time my kids said "neat." I was ready to fight somebody, because I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm raising dweebs," and yeah. Thank God I'm raising dweebs. I look at my son. My son got shiesties. You know what I mean? My son is a teenager. The other day we was going to work. He got in the car. The thermostat said 101 degrees. And here he is with an all black on hoodie. Long sleeves, hood on. You know what I mean? My son is definitely a teenager, but he's not a fake thug. He has zero aspirations to be anything that has anything to do with the streets. I don't even think he knows what the streets are. And I'm being honest, bro. I mean, my son don't listen to rap. He don't care. He barely listen to music, first of all. The closest thing to rap my son listens to is SpongeBob raps. He thinks that's hilarious. You know. But, you know, those parody raps and stuff on the internet and stuff, he thinks that's funny. And he does, and he only enjoys it for laughs. But my son, and, well, when he was a kid, he used to like Two Phones by Kevin Gates. But that's because his Aunt Nikki, may God rest her soul, used to play that song all the time in the car with him. And he loved that song. I got 2 phones. And now I don't know if it's a subconscious thing or not, but my man's got 2 phones. I ain't gonna say it's one for the plug, one for the hose. It's just his sister gave him a phone because he had broke his phone, and now he has a job, and he was able to get his phone fixed. So he has 2 phones, and he uses them both. I mean, my son has 0 aspirations to be anything street like. I tell him stories, and he looks at me with the most befuddled face, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm telling him glory stories about stuff that me and Uncle Doomday and Uncle Guy used to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I tell him stories about us when we used to rob niggas, or, I mean, just us hustling, or, I mean, rapping, or selling K's, or anything of that sort, he gonna be like, look at me like, what was y'all doing that for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be like wide-eyed, tell me more, this sounds so awesome, how cool. No, it's gonna be like, what a horrible existence for y'all. I'm sorry that y'all had to go through that. And, you know what I'm saying, my nigga Slee son like that, and Ron's son, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, well, not everybody's son. I ain't gonna say, little Dunny is, he ain't thugging, but he the closest thing to it out of any of our children. But he graduated with fucking honors, I do believe. Like, none of us graduated. So, like I said, we have provided lives for our children. That's a blessing. That's a blessing to say that. Like, to know that we've all, first of all, like I said, I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before, all of my friends that I grew up with, that's me, Dunny, Monk, Ghetto Neil, Hot, you know what I mean? Who else would I lump into this grew up with me situation? But we gonna keep it at that, you know what I'm saying? Those that are, you know what I'm saying? So we got Shannon, Guy, Naeem, Nail, me, my brother, of course. You know what I'm saying? But, okay, so that's my main core, you know what I'm saying, guys that I grew up with. We all either have done, currently are, or are in the process of home ownership, suburb living. Like, okay, so Guy lives in the city. And that's a choice. Like, I don't think, Monk ain't gotta live in the city, but he's in the heart of the city by choice. And Ha-Hat's in the city, and Nail, kind of on the outskirts. But Ha-Ha got 2 houses, multiple businesses with his wife, you know what I mean? Ron has owned multiple homes. We've done great knowing where we've come from, showing all of our children, those of us who have children, things that we've only dreamed of, we could only have imagined. We've touched other continents. We've seen things. We've provided a stepping stone for our children to be what most parents, I hope, would want for their children, and that is better than them. Like I said on the song about my daughter, and I said, what I say? When looking into your eyes and I know God is real, I want nothing but the best for you. So I know how God feel. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to keep that in mind, that my kids could have been, it could have been worse if I would if it would have turned out the way that I had, I ain't gonna say originally planned, but in my mind, growing up in the projects and growing up in the hood wasn't a bad thing. And I still don't say it's a bad thing. There's benefits to growing up anywhere. Like there's benefits to it. Like there's great benefits to having street smarts. Like I wouldn't replace that for anything. Like I would not. Like if I could go back and change my upbringing, the only thing I would add is a little bit more money to give my mother some peace of mind. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the way we was raised, where we was raised, the friends I made, the people I grew up around, all that shaped and molded me into a great person. Like I say, I'm not a great person, but yes, I'm not a bad person. I wouldn't think that nobody thinks I'm a bad person. But anyway, that has nothing to do with nothing. The point I'm trying to make is we've done well to provide a life for our children, and I would not want my children to be or have to go through the struggles that I had to go through growing up. So therefore, I'm providing them with something that I did not have the privilege to have. So, though I want them gone, they ain't got to go at 18. You ain't got to get out of my house at 18. That's an option. You can. But I'm not going to force you out. And I'm actually going to hold your hand and try my best to keep you around if I feel like you ain't prepared. I'm not going to. No. Why would I throw fresh meat out to the wolves, knowing that it's my flesh and blood, and I don't want you to have to struggle if you ain't got to. Like, I want you to be like, do you know who my dad is? Why can't we provide that for our children? Like, what's so bad about having daddy's money? Now, I'm not going to keep on funding your life as an adult, but yeah, I'll buy your first car if I can. Yeah, I'll help you with your rent on your first apartment. You know what I mean? Why would I force you to have to suffer when you ain't got to do that? Like, that's something that I'm trying to escape in our family. I'm trying to break that chain. And we've already got property to pass on when we pass on. So, and that's something that was not provided for me and my siblings. And not that, it would have been I don't know if that would have been a thing, but I don't want my children to ever have to be in a fighting situation once my wife and I are gone. So, this is why we write wheels. This is why, things are established the way they are, because planning for the future and making sure that generations ahead of you are well off is a tactic that isn't used within our community, but it has been shown for thousands of years that it works. So that's a little something that my wife and I try to change our mind on, is the black traditions of kicking kids out at 18, and you can't, no, all those things you can do now. Don't get me wrong, my oldest was going at 18, but she brought that upon herself. But that's going to be a subject for next week when my daughter joins me for my pre-Father's Day episode. Yeah. And that's a good transition because I think I'm going to end that here with this one. So we made good timing. And I touched the subject that I wanted to touch. So, yeah, we're going to end it off here today with this one, man. So, and like I said, next week, the 15th, I think it is, Monday the 15th, I will be joined by my eldest child, Corey Sunshine, who turns 20 in August. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to talk about. I don't know if she's interviewing me or if I'm interviewing her, but I am not only looking forward to it because, like I said, my daughter no longer lives with me, and it's always a treat to see my baby, my firstborn child. It is very much a treat. She lives a good 45 minutes away from me, so I don't see her as often as I would like. And she's in school and stuff, so I don't talk to her as often as I would like. So it is what it is when it comes to that. So this is going to be a treat to have my baby around for the podcast. So to those of you who are listening for the first time, I can't imagine that you are, but if you are, thank you so very much for tuning in. It means a lot to a player. I'm not really a player, so, but it's just a term that I use. If my wife is listening, thank you for tuning in, man. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, you can share the content if you would like, if you feel it, shareable, and comment if you would. All these things help provide the algorithm with food, that is lettuce. So please help me out in that situation. Like I said, next week it's gonna be me and my baby, and then we can move on past. I don't know if we're gonna have another week of whatchamacallit, but we're gonna go to a song by my boy Infamous B, man, from Row Izzy Volume 1, man. This is How I Was Raised, since we was talking about how I was raised. Man, I love songs that make sense. So, and, you know what I mean? What makes even more sense is that I'm possibly going to do this actual beat for the show during the hiatus when the season ends. So we got a good 11 episodes to go and a couple weeks of peace and quiet without no head letters. So we'll see how that goes. And then maybe I'll return with theme music and all that good stuff. So like I said, I'm going to take that time to focus. But rambling like I always do. But I'm going to leave you guys this week with Infamous Beazle from the great Row Izzy Volume 1 album. This song is called How I Was Raised. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Row Izzy for you hoes.
You know, when a nigga like me was coming out, you always had to keep it trill, keep your head on the swivel, and stay on your grind. You know, all the way 100 type nigga. But things done changed. These young niggas got the game all fucked up, purping on the block, acting like they got it when they know they don't. But I know as a real OG that I am, I'ma lead these young niggas to the promised land. You dig? Yeah. was taught you always had to keep it real. And if it ain't about money, then fuck how you feel, yeah. We don't do no snitching that'll get you killed. But things done changed, how I was raised. I was taught if you don't grind, then you don't eat. And if you scared, then get your ass up out the street, yeah. Ain't no love if you ain't got the loyalty. But things done changed, how I was raised. I remember mama in the kitchen. She dropping gems while she on the stove whipping. She told me, boy, if you ain't got it, then go get it. And when you got it, then you still gotta go get it. And I overstand and got on my grind. Overtime on my 9 to 5. Hit the block with my dope and 9. Fell in love with Benji's, the bluest kind. Hustle plus determination. Really get them haters hating. OGs had that motivation. Get the bag without incarceration. So I'm going hard with my digit scale. Dodging 12 with that work for sale. Clientele on my burner cell. And pray to God we don't see no jail. They giving out that expensive time. We call that there a Richard Mill. And niggas snitching nowadays, but that snitching shit'll get you killed, and that's real. I was taught you always had to keep it real. And if it ain't about money, then fuck how you feel, yeah. We don't do no snitching that'll get you killed. But things done changed, how I was raised. I was taught if you don't grind, then you don't eat. And if you scared, then get your ass up out the street, yeah. Ain't no love if you ain't got the loyalty. But things done changed, how I was raised. I remember OG in the kitchen. He dropping gems while he Pyrex water whipping. He asked me, boy, now that you got it, how you get it? And it's a difference between being up and winning. And I understand the thought about the bag. Those that chase it never make it back. Niggas trapped until they really trapped. And the white man paid off all of that. They got high fashion for the low lights. Fuck love, just give them more likes. Clout chase them like a crack high. But when a nigga down, the emojis cry. Remember the dope boys will stay fly to death. Now the young boys getting high to death. They got Dracos with extended clips and fake chains with the loudest pip. iPhones take the clearest pics. Ooh, they love that floss and shit. But what's the point of all the drip if a nigga can't even pay the rent, and that's real. I was taught you always had to keep it real. And if it ain't about money, then fuck how you feel, yeah. We don't do no snitching that'll get you killed. But things done changed, how I was raised. I was taught if you don't grind, then you don't eat. And if you scared, then get your ass up out the street, yeah. Ain't no love if you ain't got the loyalty. But things done changed, how I was raised. Guess things done changed, how I was raised. And I don't think they never ever be the same, yeah. Things done changed, how I was raised. And I don't think they never ever be the same, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.